Hello and welcome to Number System Bytes. Let us solve the questions. If 666 blah 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 n times square plus 888 blah 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 n times is equal to y, then hundredths digit of y is. Okay. Now there are certain times when you need to be smart and there are certain times when you need to be straightforward. Here, there's an opportunity to be straightforward. If I simply need the hundredths digit and the fact that this is a theta question, all I need to do is simply calculate 66 square plus 88, whatever the hundredths digit I get there, that should be the answer. I'm not taking 6 square plus 8 because it will not go into 3-digit number. So let me do 66 into 66. I get 6 into 6, 6, 3 carried over. So 9 and 3. Okay. Here I get another 6, another 9, another 3. So 6, 9 plus 6 is 5. 1 carried over. So 3, 1 carried over. So 4. 4, 3, 5, 6. I have got my original number as. To this I have to add 88. So can you see it will be 4400 something? So what is the hundredths digit? Answer is 4. Given that this is a theta question, you don't really need to solve it expansively. Something as simple as this would also work. Next, all prime factors of V are less than 5. Okay, so we can potentially have prime factors as 2 and 3. These are the only two prime numbers less than 5. V has exactly 6 factors. If V has exactly 6 factors, it will either be some prime number raised to the power 5 or it will be some prime number raised to the power 1 into some other prime number raised to the power 2. These are the only two setups in which you can get 6 factors. How many values of P are possible? Oh, sorry, V are possible. From here, I can get 2 raised to the power 5 or 3 raised to the power 5. From here, I can get 2 raised to the power 1, 3 square, or 2 square, 3 raised to the power 1. So there are 4 possibilities. Answer will be option B. Next, find the number of integers between 1 and 100 that are not divisible by any of the integers out of 2, 3, and 5. Okay, pay attention. This is asking for integers between 1 and 100. So there are only 98 integers to consider. There are only 98 integers to consider. We are considering integers only from 2 to 99. We're only considering integers from 2 to 99. Now there are two ways of doing this. One is the Venn diagram based way. The other is other way. I'll get to it. So how many multiples of 2 in this range? 2 to 40, 2 to 98, so 49. How many multiples of 3? I will have 33. How many multiples of 5? 5 to 95, so 19. Now, how many multiples of 2, 3, and 5? So multiple of 30. So there are 3 multiples of 30. How many multiples of 6? 6 to 96, so 16. 3 gone here, so 13. How many multiples of 10? 10 to 90, so 9. So 3 gone here, so 6. How many multiples of 15? 15 to 90, so 6. 3 gone here, so 3. So now I can fill it out. 6 plus 3 plus 9, 22. So this is 27. And this is 13 plus 3 plus 3 is 19. So this is 14. And 6 plus 3 plus 3 is 12. So this is 7. So this is the list of all the numbers that are divisible by one of 2, at least one of 2, 3, and 5. So let's count them. I have 49 plus 24 adds up to 73. So 73 numbers are out of running. 73 numbers are out of running out of 98. So I'm left with my final answer is 25. One way to reach the answer is this. The other way to reach it is, instead of considering 98 integers 2 to 99, I'm considering 1 to 100. I'm considering this entire range. Now within 30 numbers, within the first 30 numbers, how many numbers will be co-prime with 30 is given using the Euler application. Euler or Euler, whatever you choose to call it. Within every 30 such numbers, you're going to find 8 such numbers So first 30, from 1 to 30, you get 8 such instances. From 31 to 60, you get 8 such instances. From 61 to 90, you get 8 such instances. But for the last 10 numbers, you count it. So the only acceptable numbers in that range would be 91 and 97, because 92 will not be counted, 93 will not be counted, 94 will not be counted, 95 will not be counted, 96 will not be counted, 97 will be counted, 98 will not be counted, 99 will not be counted, 100 will not be counted. You get 2 extra numbers. So this adds up to 26. But there is a problem here. Within these 8 numbers that are co-prime to 30, I have also included 1. So that needs to go away. Once that goes away, our final answer of 25 is easily obtained. Next question. The sum of the greatest integer less than or equal to v and the least integer greater than or equal to v is 109. The solution set for v is, okay. The best thing to do here is simply take a number at the boundary and simply take a number in between. Simply take a number at the boundary, you would get it. If I took a number at the boundary, if v was equal to 108, so the greatest integer less than equal to v and the least integer greater than equal to v would be 108 plus 108. So of course this is out. In the same vein, if I took here I took for option B, I took v equal to 108.1. So I would get 108 plus 109, which is out of bound. I need the final sum to be 109. Here, the smallest case would be when v is equal to 54. In that case, I will get 54 plus 54, which is equal to 108. So this is also out. Here, the smallest case that I can potentially take is 54.1. So I will get 54 plus 55. Yes, this is indeed equal to 109. So answer has to be option D. Simple logical attribution, no high funda concept. Next, what is the remainder when 12 raised to the power 91 plus 14 raised to the power 91 is divided by 169? Okay, let's see. Can I write this as 13 minus 1 raised to the power 91 plus 13 plus 1 raised to the power 91, whole thing divided by 169. This much can be written. Now, for the first expression, I'll break it up into 2 parts. The denominator remains 169, but I'm breaking it up. For the first expression, I will get 91C0 13 raised to the power 0 minus 1 raised to the power 91 plus 91C1 into 13 raised to the power 1 into minus 1 raised to the power 98. And there will be some more terms. Every subsequent term will have a 13 square. So that is anyway divisible by 169. Can you also see this term here is divisible by 169? Because 91 and 13, 91 into 13 is 13 into 13 into 7. So this is also irrelevant for me when I'm trying to find out the remainder. This is gone. What I'm only left with on my left hand side, all I'm left with is a minus 1. Similarly, when I go to the right hand side and do 13 plus 1 raised to the power 91, I would get 91C0, 13 raised to the power 0, 1 raised to the power 91. And the subsequent term would be 91C1, 13 raised to the power 1, 1 raised to the power 90. I'd written 98 here, no? So that is faulty, should be 90. Anyway, and every subsequent term will have a 13 square, so don't really care for it. Even this term has a 13 square, 91 into 13 would be a multiple of 169. So don't care. So on the right hand side, I'm simply left with plus 1, whole thing divided by 169, or I get 0 as remainder. So answer has to be option A. That will be all for this episode. Hopefully you learned something. Okay, bye.